Previously on the Lesser Prophecies.
So, fellow Nord, I hope I can count on your loyalty. I need to get out.
I don't know if we can trust this Nord, but I also don't want to abandon someone who could need our help.
We find the Priest of Arche, and then if we're able to, we'll rescue any other mortals. But we have to make sure we get the priest, otherwise no one gets out.
That's fair.
He says, "You know this is wrong. I have to get out. I have to come back."
Brother, if we can, we will come back for you.
In this room, there is a statue of a woman in a dress.
Do we recognize said woman in a dress?
Let's do an Arcana roll.
She's all excited. A 9.
Wow.
I'm just really scared.
There's this long, flat valley with a crater in the center, and there are things moving towards the crater. Millions of things.
We're not going that way. We are not going that way.
What you see is a long hall that is framed by 4 images of a woman in a dress.
Aravande, do you want to look to see if you finally recall who this woman is?
I know. I'm sure this time. 8. Nope. Just don't know.
I am with you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, that sounded like Doc. That was good.
That's
that was very
so
good.
I love it.
Is that Doc?
That was Doc Whodat 219.
Yay.
Aww.
Oh, I'm so happy.
That's cool.
I love Doc.
We love
I
Doc.
know. Of UESP.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Doc, for that. All right, so yeah, you find yourself in this corridor. It is heading steeply upwards. It's another kind of undulating space. Do you feel like you're close to the tower? And our theory says, we must be quick. Hurry.
So, is he saying that as we're moving up the steps and we hear the voice pretty much all at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So we were just running from some skeletons, though they're probably going to be stuck in that other room. So as I'm going up the steps and I get towards the top, I stop and think very forcefully, I hear you. And see if any other thoughts come to me, because I presume that was something sort of telepathic.
Yeah, did we hear it or did we think we heard it?
I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I saw Titus is coming to a stop right when everybody else hears the thing, and he's just standing and looking around. He's trying to telepathically respond, I guess, assuming it's like that. Lon asks. I say, yes, I heard the voice.
I like that everyone else is looking around, and Titus is the one with his face all wrinkled up going, like thinking psychic thoughts.
Yeah, Aravande says, yeah, I heard it, but this is not entirely unusual.
Like, I mean, it's a telepathic thought. You guys haven't had that?
Yeah, it's a magic thing, probably. Logic would say.
Phaelin, eyes wide as saucers, just like turns and like looks at our theory and just is like,
You're for dinner.
"You're for dinner." No.
Yeah, our theory goes, what are you looking at?
Did you hear that, our theory?
Hear the skeletons, the bones rolling around?
No, the voice.
He kind of like looks to each of you and then goes, are you okay?
No, we've been here too long.
Yeah, I think we've
Let's keep
passed the
going.
point of being okay a long
If we
way
don't
back.
hear the voice again, then staying here is going to be a mistake. So Titus turns back up the steps and turns around the corner.
Okay. Up a little ways is a wooden door. It's not one of those ones with the teeth.
I reach for the handle or knocker or whatnot to push/pull it open.
Okay.
I guess I push first, unless there's a sign.
All right. Yeah, it opens without resistance and opens into a hall. You can see from thin windows very similar to your cell that it looks as though you've reached the tower. You are now inside of it on the first floor.
Ooh.
Finally.
All right, we move quick and we move quiet.
Phaelin just nods and follows close behind Titus.
All right.
Can I look up? Is there anything up above us?
So where you are is just kind of an open circular-ish room. kind of organically circular. And around it is a spiral staircase, and maybe about 20 feet up, the open area stops as though maybe there's something in the center.
Ooh.
Okay. I whisper back to our theory. You've not been here before, right?
Not inside this tower, no.
How do we know it's the right tower?
There's like 300 other towers over there.
From the windows that we can see, the window slits we can see out, can we just see the water all around us and like some of the shoreline?
Yeah, looking out the nearest window, you can see a little bit of the hill that you crested to see the crater.
Is there still an absence of sky?
Yes. It's a black
Yeah.
emptiness with a bunch of green crystals.
So I guess I speak back to Aravande saying, it seems like it's the right spot. You can see the shoreline from before.
On the shoreline, there's the factotum like is waving at you like, hey. As it moves up, there's a front door that looks like it opens up to the shoreline where, if you had managed to maybe, I don't know, swim across to the hand, this may have been a separate entrance.
Okay.
That's not somewhere I want to go take a dip.
I say outside or up.
I vote for up.
Up sounds good.
Up it is.
Keep moving forward.
All right. And you go up maybe 25, maybe 50 feet, and then there is a door.
Okay.
Towards the inside or?
Inside there seems to be like a circular-ish room.
And does the staircase keep going past that?
It does.
Okay. I silently point towards the door and look back for a nod from everyone else.
Faywin vigorously nods.
Or Lon nods as well.
Aravande definitely nods.
Okay. With my hammer out and at the ready, I reach forward and hopefully there's a handle. I'm not putting my hand between any teeth if it's one of those doors.
It is a teeth door.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, so we don't have don't we need to get the key thing?
You have a key.
That's right, we do have a key.
Can we see anyone inside the thing, though? So looking through the teeth, because the teeth don't fully close. It's like bars to a prison.
Right, it's like bars to the prison. This room appears to be made for torture. There's shelves and a few tables that are covered with assorted items, but there's racks that look like they're made for twisting and contorting bodies. There is a person sitting in a sort of a meditative position facing away from you, wearing a blue and white sort of monk-like outfit. She is a red guard. Her hair is cropped short on the sides, and just as you sort of take notice, like, oh, this is who we're looking for, there is a ka-thump noise. And the thing that made the ka-thump noise is a scamp that has jumped down and landed on one of the tables and is now stalking towards the monk.
We can all see this, right?
Yes, you can see it through the bars.
Is the monk responding at all to this happening, or is completely oblivious?
The monk, the priest in this case, or priestess, is facing away in the meditative position and has not moved or
so we don't
made
see any.
notice.
There's no like turns. And...
Right, no turn.
And do I have line of sight to the scamp?
You could get line of sight looking through the door.
Okay.
Could you shoot a bow through the door?
There's enough room.
Okay. Faywin tries to press up against the door, and seeing this, she draws out a single dagger, and she's going to attempt to throw it at the scamp.
Throwing dagger.
Yes.
Sick. All right, yeah.
Titus is going to speak loudly, saying, "Behind you!" as she's throwing the dagger.
Okay.
Not to startle her, to warn the red guard.
She turns around, takes a dagger to the face.
Okay. Dagger throw, go! I made a macro for it. 5.
5 is a miss.
No, 5 is the damage.
5 is the damage.
I rolled 1d20 plus 6, which is 12.
That's a hit. Sorry, I missed that part. Okay, so yeah, Faywin very dramatically sort of slips through the group, pulls a dagger, and flings it through the bars. While it's in midair, Titus yells, "Behind you!" And hearing the noise, the scamp kind of turns and then takes this dagger straight in the shoulder. And there's a tense moment. And then it goes, oh my gosh, you hit me right in the shoulder. What'd you do that for, you jerks? What's going on with this?
Hello.
We all jump back, startled from the scamp yelling at us in perfect, common.
Aravandi's like halfway through. She wants to clap for Faywin, and then she just kind of freezes, her hands are frozen in front of her, and she's like,
A little cringe starting to form, oh no.
Yeah. Faywin's like, hi, and sorry, I think.
What's wrong with you?
Not
what kind
entirely
of a
sure.
question?
The priestess slowly turns so you can see just a crescent of her face and says, please welcome our visitors, Scamp. The Scamp says, well, you're not going to let them in, are you? They just threw a dagger at me. She says, please let in our guests, Scamp. And the Scamp goes, you got weird guests, bad. And he comes,
Lon yells out, sorry.
pulling the dagger from the shoulder and sort of whimpering. He leaps off of the table and he comes and opens the door for you. It opens with a big "Mwah."
I turn, as the door opens, I hit Faywin on the shoulder with a light smack. Why'd you throw the dagger? Even though it was my suggestion to throw.
Titus is reholstering his hand crossbow that he was already drawing.
Faywin, kind of slinks to the back of the group and, just, kind of tries not to be the center of attention right now. And she's blushing hardcore.
Aravandi just kind of leans over and I guess down.
I'll lean a little
No,
away.
she leans over. She's just like, I think you did a good job, so.
Thank you, Arvande.
You're welcome.
It was a good shot.
From your shoulder, Artheria is just kind of making a cringy face,
Sorry
about
Cringing.
But other than that, though, the priestess does not turn around or acknowledge you in any other way as the door opens.
So the scamp just walks over and opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going in?
Titus asks, what are you doing here if you have the freedom to leave?
We're just staying here so that nobody eats us.
What?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, the kind of world that you're in, but there's a lot of things that want to eat us. And so we lock a door, and then they can't eat us. Seems
Maybe
pretty
we
straightforward
should
to me.
go in,
Um,
and have this conversation.
Can I ask I'm going to turn to Elfika and be like, well, why are we rescuing them if they can leave at any time they
This one
want?
thought they needed to be rescued. Well, this one didn't know about the scam.
Why?
I give a
confused,
look
this
to
place.
everyone else as we're all just sort of hesitating at the door. I sort of raise one hand to the others and then I step into the room.
And we wait to see if Titus is obliterated.
Yeah, the priestess turns around, die!
Holding.
I speak to her and say, we were told that a priest of the divines was here, and that together with us we would have a way to escape this place and get back home.
The priestess stands and turns around, and she is probably the first thing that in this realm that you would call beautiful. You would call her that because she's actually clean, which is pretty uncommon.
So
So our theory is gross.
Yeah, our theory is a
ratty.
little bit scuffed up.
he's like a mangy,
Our theory is the best
street
boy.
cat.
Faywin
he's
doesn't
kinda
mind.
dirty right now. Faye's used to it.
This is fine.
And he's just hanging out on Faywin's shoulder while he's rotten fur and...
She turns and says, my name is Koros Alferic, guardian of the wheel. You seek to escape?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be preferable.
She looks into Titus's eyes and says, you've seen it, haven't you? The crater.
Yes.
So you know, this realm is moving. To escape is merely to delay. Namira must be stopped.
We have to stop her here.
No. She beckons for you to come in.
I'm standing
Arvandi just slides in right behind Titus.
Okay.
Faywin would like to go last, so by
Okay.
all means.
Yeah.
She motions.
With a
I'm struggling to move
Okay.
yeah, the scamp makes sort of a mean mug at Faywin as she enters, and then he
She
moves
averts
over.
her gaze.
Yeah.
in and hisses.
He moves over to one of the tables. You actually see there's a few creature comforts kind of in this room that you haven't seen elsewhere.
Creature.
Creature comforts, get it? There's a few kind of blankets, a couple of looks like bottles with liquid that doesn't look like it's been spoiled. There's a few pieces of food, and there's a tea set. And the scamp picks up the tea set and kind of walks over to everyone and says, do you want a cup?
Thank you. No.
Faywin just kind of quietly shakes her head.
Does it look like a normal cup of tea, or does it look weird?
You don't turn down a drink offered to you. That's unpolite. Sure, I'll have a cup.
The scamp hands you an empty teacup and then walks away.
Vaughn takes a sip.
Well, it's an empty teacup. There's no sip.
I'm trying.
A pretend sip.
I'm pretending to take it's like a toddler tea party. I'm taking a sip.
Oh boy.
The priestess finally kind of settles back on there's like a little carpet that's been rolled where she was doing her meditations. And she says, I have 2 mandates. And the first is here before me. I am tasked with granting an artifact of incredible power to those who are deemed worthy to use it. And it seems that mandate has finally been fulfilled. She pulls something from her robes, and in her hand, it's about the size of a softball, is a sort of stone item. It looks like a quarter of a circle with sort of some lines and embellishments on it. And it's made of, it looks like an alabaster, kind of with maybe like a metal flake in it, so it has some like glint. And she holds it out, and she says, this is a piece of the sigil of RK. It is said that this object was the object which RK himself held at the time that he attained godhood and became the god of the wheel of life and death. And it is this object which I believe may stop whatever Namira is planning with Nirn.
Titus sort of holds his hand out, not insistently, but just sort of a little bit in front of him, and says, what are we supposed to do with it?
She says, I don't know. I was merely tasked with giving it to you. If only Rico were here. She turns, and at this point you notice that kind of around this room, there's a few stray sheets of paper, and each one has a sketch on it. And there's kind of a couple on walls and around and about, and there is a face drawn on them, and it's all the same face of a Bosmer. This Bosmer, she is bald with long antlers and some freckles. And she kind of glances at the sketches and says, Rika was an archivist. She was a historian, and she could tell you everything about everything.
That sounds incredibly useful.
That's why you need to find her. She left our order. I'm the last of the Guardians of the Wheel. She joined a group a while back, years ago, called RK's Acolytes, and they were obsessed with finding the pieces of the sigil of RK. So they're your best lead. I believe that this object can save Nirn, but I don't know how. Rika will know.
I presume they're back on Nirn, though.
Yes.
Well, this Khajiit thinks that you can help us get back to Nirn. And if we have a mission to do when we get there, we'll take it.
She says, I will aid you in your quest, but I will not come with you. My mandate is not fulfilled.
What's the second part of your mandate?
To catch her when she falls.
To catch Namira?
She says no more about who the she is in that statement, but she turns and she grabs a little pack and she hands it to Scamp and says, Scamp, you've been quite a help to me over the time that I've been here in the Scuttling Void, and now it is time for you to help someone else. Go with them, help them return to Nirn. And Scamp kind of looks at her like reverently, and he takes this pack and he goes, does this mean I'm like the champion of RK? Because that's kind of like what I was jockeying for to begin with this whole thing. And she's like, you're not the champion of RK. He's okay, but like you're going to put in a good word for me, you know, so that I could become the champion of RK maybe? And she's like, you're not RK's champion, but you are my champion. And sort of reverently, he takes this pack and sort of puts it on his back. And he goes, well, okay, I mean, next train to Nirn. All right, follow me. And he starts going out into the hallway.
Guys, we have our own pack Scamp. That's so great.
Does Pack Scamp still have my dagger?
Yeah, he's not getting it back either.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask for it later. That's fine.
Lon elbows Faywin, just lightly said, "Try not to throw another dagger in him this time."
Nope, no promises just yet.
Koros turns and says, beware. If you're going back out into the void, there are many perils, as I'm sure you're already aware. There are those who would betray you at every turn, like that Nord who's been hunting me.
Please say more. There was a Nord in prison, and we said we would go rescue him
knew
if we
it.
could, but we didn't trust that he was worth it. We needed to save the priest first.
Is he dressed in regalia, looks a little fancy?
Was the priest dressed in, or was the Nord dressed in regalia and looked kind of
I
fancy?
think he was, right?
I think he was.
He was a little
Pretty
fancy.
sure.
He was a little fancy.
He
looking.
was. Yes.
She nods and says, his name is Yoren. He's not to be trusted.
I told you.
He was hunting you?
Yes. In fact, he hunted me to the point that I had to leap into the scuttling void to avoid him, and he leaped in after.
Why was he hunting you?
There are those who will always hunt followers of RK, necromancers, vampires, and followers of Namira specifically, but there are many who hate RK's chosen. Yet we must love them as they hate us. Rika taught me that.
Well, I feel like we can love him kept safe in a jail cell then. I don't think we need to go back and add to our burdens trying to complete this. I think we need to get back to Tamriel as quick as we can.
She says, then I bestow with you a blessing of RK, and should you return to Tamriel and you do find RK's acolytes, please say hello to Rika and say hello to my sibling Retta. She says, be safe, and she turns and goes back to her meditating.
And so Scamp is leading the way.
Scamp's like, come on, up the stairs.
Let's keep Faywin in the back.
Faywin doesn't feel entirely comfortable in the back. She'll be in the middle.
As they turn and start leaving the room, I turn back to Koros and I say, I hope the divines are with you. And then I turn and walk out the door.
Very quietly, as you turn the corner, you can hear one of them is.
And then I start heading up after whoever's in front and heading towards Scamp. And I presume I'll probably get to the front as we're walking.
Is anybody else concerned that a priest of Arcade's working with the Daedra?
Yeah, I am.
I don't know a lot about Arcade and all of his priests. I've had a couple run-ins, but generally they're not too big of fans of the Daedra.
I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures.
Scamp's like, listen, I could tell you probably don't trust Koros all that much, but listen, I wore her down. It took a long time, and I'm like, listen, I am champion of RK material. And
why do you
started-
want to be the champion of Arcade?
This place sucks.
You're not wrong.
Fair enough.
All right. So with this sigil of RK in your possession, you make your way up this ongoing staircase. It goes up for a while, and as it goes, it begins to narrow, and you feel like you're probably in the wrist segment of the tower. And finally, there's some light above. It's very bright green, and you emerge onto the top of the tower.
Ooh.
Oh, it's literally
Oh,
a hand.
wow.
It's a hand.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like somewhat shaped like a hand, like Michigan.
Michigan.
Well, we saw the
This-
picture of what the tower looked like before.
Yeah,
We
this-
knew it
this-
was a hand.
Oh, true.
Michigan-shaped tower.
You know, Michigan's shaped like a hand, like it's a mitten.
Yeah.
Oh, that art shows that there's no front door, though. It's just a tunnel. But you showed us a door. Where'd the door get installed?
It showed up and shut up. Yes, you were on top of the hand. From
Okay.
the wrist, it actually comes up, and you are
Okay.
now on the top.
Are we concerned about this hand gripping us?
Well, now that
Because
you
I'm
said it,
concerned
I
about this
am.
hand just like deciding to make a clench, and that this is actually just a giant monster we're standing on top of.
We just
Am I
walked through
the
the
only
middle
one
of it.
scared
It's-
of this?
It's
Why
got
do you
no
have
muscle
to
structure.
say these things now? Save it for later.
Because I want to be prepared.
Just before you emerge, you hear something faintly.
Face your fears, my chosen. Face your fears.
Well, I'm slightly afraid of getting crushed by this tower.
Who are you? Who chose us?
There is no answer. At last, you emerge onto the palm of the outstretched hand, which is on top of the tower. You are much higher than Titus was on the hill, and now you can see kind of from horizon to horizon, and you can see craters in several directions, each one glowing with green energy and each one being swarmed by millions of undead creatures. Closer to your position, there is a large green crystal, which floats about 25 feet above. On the center of the palm, there is a summoning circle, and you are not alone. A familiar Nord, who looks a little bit more bedraggled than the last time you saw him, is standing on the other side of the tower.
Is he wet?
Ew.
He looks... Yeah, we'll say he's a little bit wet.
Like with black stuff?
Yeah, he's kind of oily. He's kind of oozy. And
Moist.
he looks like he's probably gotten in a couple fist fights. He's a little busted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my axe.
So we come up the steps, Scamp is leading, and I'm right behind. And then he's over by the finger.
Mm-hmm.
And does he start moving as soon as we see him?
He sees you come up, and he has a look of intense hatred on his face.
I pull my hand crossbow and level it at him.
All right.
And I say, Yorin, stand down. We're getting ready to go back to Tamriel. Don't interfere and you can come with us.
What?
Bjorn says, I need to find Koros.
What's a Koros?
That's the person we just met.
No, I'm
priestess.
telling him.
Oh.
Thanks, Lon.
Go ahead and roll a deception check. I like that.
Titus.
Well,
And I thought I couldn't keep a secret.
I think Lon just spoke, and as soon as he does that, instead of trying to deceive, I'm just going to glance at him, glance back, and fire.
Okay. He dodges. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, though.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Why do I? Oh, that's too many. Hold, sorry.
Idana got 32 for initiative.
Job.
Oh, thank God I'm not going first.
For those listening, Faywin rolled a 22.
17. Go me.
Pylon Nuts, a.k.a. Lon, rolled 15.
Titus, 14.
All right. So he definitely dodges the bolt as it goes by him, and it kind of snaps off of one of the fingers and falls off the edge of the tower. And Yorin says, if you won't bring me to Koros, I'll have Koros brought to me. And with a hand, he slams it down on the summoning circle. There's 2 bolts of lightning, green lightning, that slam down onto the summoning circle from the gem above, and 2 Dremora emerge on the summoning circle.
Mm.
They look up. There's one that's kind of tall and thin. He's kind of taking center stage. The first one looks to you and says,
You lost, mortals.
We know exactly where we're going.
I don't know. I think we're kind of lost, aren't we?
Shh.
Well, we're a little lost.
He chuckles and then turns, like just kind of nods over at the other one behind him.
They look lost, McGinn.
McGinn.
Again.
McGinn turns and kind of chuckles and says, yeah, they're regular walkabouts, Curva. And Curva kind of like makes a dumb face.
That even mean, McGinn? Walkabouts? You sound stupid.
And he kind of sputters and is like, no, you sound stupid. It's a regular thing. I heard someone else say it. They bicker just for like a split second. It's just sort of a, shut up. No, you shut up. Shut up. No, you shut up. In this, Yorin pipes up and says, these prisoners escaped from the cavity. I'm the one who caught them, and if you give me merely one more key, I can help catch the one who sent them. They're attempting to return to Tamriel. And before he can say anything, the tall Dremora gives him a single push. And Yorin's face kind of goes rigid as he sort of tips to the point of no return and silently falls off the side of the hand.
Well, that was unexpected.
I'm going to put an X next to his name.
And that's why you don't trust Datra.
It's Scamp.
Scamp looks crestfallen.
Well, sorry, but
Scamp.
you know what I mean.
Scamp's like, nah, I totally get it, actually.
See?
The Dremora Curva looks at all of your weapons out and says,
They want to fight? Let's give them one.
I actually don't want to fight.
We've been hard at work crafting the biggest, most horrifying creature to ever skitter from the void. Meet your doom well, meat piles.
he points a finger at the summoning circle. There's a flash of lightning. These 2 Dremora disappear, and a plume of smoke rises from the hand. And as it rises up, it goes about maybe 20, 25 feet up in the air, and then it begins to expand out so that you're sort of surrounded by it. And after a moment, you get the feeling that you're not alone in the smoke. By the way, that Daedra was voiced by Kyle Rebel of the Skyblivion Project.
Rebelizer!
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I met him at Bethesda Game Days too.
that's right.
You guys are just too cool for the rest of us. Okay, so we're like in like a cloudy thing now?
Yes, you're in a cloudy thing.
Each of the fingers, is that sort of like a ramp/wall?
Yeah,
Or
you would
on the
consider as it goes up, it's probably difficult terrain.
Can we can't see?
Currently, you cannot see through the smoke, but you sense that there is something in the smoke with you.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Sure.
I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet, and if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aurora around any visible creature, object that bears magic.
Okay.
So it's a highlight like an ESO.
Yeah.
Any interactive object has a little
It's
highlight
like
around
it's
it.
like
Your tab target.
Exactly, it's tab
Yeah, there
targeting.
you go.
I'm a pro gamer, y'all.
Yeah, you turn on your magical Fallout vats, and you can see the outline of an enormous Horrivore.
Why is it always a Horrivore?
Every freaking time.
Probably the same one.
Well,
No, wasn't there like 20 of them last time?
Too many bugs in this
It's-
plane of oblivion.
Oh, is this not a Horrivore Daedra? It's just a Horrivore?
Yeah, this isn't a Horrivore Daedra. This is just like a big...
Oh, not the one from
Big
not the
Horrivore.
one that Faywin wanted to make friends with.
Hazarvande expresses her displeasure with it being another damn horror. She just kind of points and says, "It's over there."
Can we see her highlighting?
I
Does it
think
highlight it for the group or just for her?
once she points it out, Idana, you're first in the order.
Yes.
Because Avron was able to detect it, you don't have any disadvantage on attacking it.
Awesome. Cool. Faywin says, "Oh yeah, right in front of me," and then fires her bow.
Scamp jumps out of the way.
So I rolled a 25.
Okay. Yep, that's a hit. And it dealt how much damage?
8.
Okay. Very nice.
I see this Horrivore very clearly, and I feel comfortable where I am.
Okay. Avron, after detecting the Horrivore, it is now your turn.
Yeah, Aravante's like, I don't want to get close. And now she's also really aware of the fact that they're up very high and there's nothing keeping her from falling down. So she's kind of like, I hate all this. And she'll cast Firebolt. So that's a 21.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
5. Wow.
Sweet. You guys are dealing some good damage. All right, it is the Horrivore's turn.
Oh.
By this point, the smoke has cleared, and you can now see this creature clearly. It's bulbous, it's insectile, it looks very dirty and nasty and mucusy, and it's probably about 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide, so it's just kind of like a big, almost an orb, very tick-like. And it sees Faywin dead in front of it, and it's going to try to make an attack on Faywin.
Okay.
I'm going to use my protection style to impose disadvantage. I sort of half step in the way and interfere with my shield.
Okay, is that something you can use out of turn?
Yeah, I use my reaction. So instead of an opportunity attack, I can use my reaction to do this. If I have an adjacent ally, I can impose disadvantage on an attack aimed at them with my shield.
Okay, sweet. Okay, yeah, I rolled a 13, and I will re-roll, and that was a 9.
You miss.
Awesome.
Missed.
Yes.
Boo.
Yay.
Thank you, Titus.
No problem.
It's going to snarl very, very venomously and end its turn. We now turn to Lon Pilson.
Did it move forward?
Oh, yes, it did. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Lon's gonna take a swing at it with his axe. 15.
15, that is a miss.
Oh. Oh, that's a...
It's a thick hide. Yeah, your axe glances off of its kind of chitinous
carapace.
form. Yeah, it's carapace.
Just a fun time to say that word. Okay, I'm gonna brace myself for it to swing back at me then.
All right. That's it for you?
That is it for me.
All right, Titus.
Is this thing large or huge?
I'd put it as large. It's
Okay.
10 by 10.
So this might not work at all, but I'm going to charge forward with my shield and I'm going to do a shove. I'm going to try to push it 5 feet back
Okay.
which I think is a contested strength check.
All right.
Oh, I got a 9.
He rolled a 16 plus 1.
He beat me. I don't
Yeah.
push him.
Big friend.
That's a bummer. Okay. Well, that was my attack.
All right, we go back to the top of the order. Faywin.
How far is he from me right now? Is this like 5 feet?
He's adjacent to you.
Okay.
Is he too covered in goo, or can I find like any sort of like points where the carapace maybe has like a seam in it or anything?
I mean, its back kind of bulbous and has like pus-like pockets. It appears to be a somewhat weaker skin.
Don't explode the pus-filled pockets.
That's not sanitary.
Listen, I think I might use my blowgun and aim for a pus-filled pocket just to see what happens.
For the creativity of it, I'll give you advantage on the shot. Roll twice
Okay.
and take the higher one.
So that is a... So it's a 16.
Okay, that's a hit.
Cool. And then 5 damage to pus pocket.
Okay. Yeah, the pus pocket explodes and it lets out a roar of anguish and pain. Anything else for you, Faywin?
That's all.
All right. Averon, on to you.
Is this giant, ugly Horrivore thing? This is within how many feet of me?
We're all 5 feet.
Oh, awesome. Well, I would like it as far away from me as possible. So I'm gonna cast Thunderwave and see if I can push it back a little bit.
Yes.
All right, sweet.
Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I think it has to roll that. And so Constitution's endurance in Elder Scrolls world.
Yes.
All right. And it rolled a 2.
Okay, so it says if it failed, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Sweet.
Nice.
So that's 7 damage. Push him back and he gets a little zap for 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yes!
Well, that, like, pus pocket is now all scorched up and he's looking pretty bedraggled.
Good.
All right. Anything else from you, Averon?
No, I'm just happy it didn't hit me.
Okay. The Horrivore, it sort of like glows a reddish color. Averon, make an agility save.
Oh no. 9? Oh no. Oh no, I don't like that look.
Texas Knuckles.
Oh no.
You did fail to save. A fiery portal opens up beneath you, and you are sucked in.
Oh no.
No!
And we'll get back to you on your turn.
Oh, this is an ESO mechanic.
How dare! I didn't even get to read the
This is a
guide.
boss
Hold
fight
Just
up.
mechanic.
DPS down the ad. Wait.
Oh.
It will rush back forward, angrily looking at Faywin,
Oh dear.
and then end its turn. Lon is on to you.
Ooh, I'm going to take another swing with my
Okay.
axe since I'm right up here anyways. Oh, not 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20. Good job. What's the damage for it?
7.
All right. Nice. Yeah, it is in rough shape. Do you want me to handle your nat 20, how it looks? Or would you
I would like
to
the
explain
DM to handle.
it? Okay. As it rushes forward after Aravande kind of goes and disappears from view, you let out
A roar?
just a throat-piercing Nordic shout of war, and you lop one of its legs clear off,
Nice.
like Aragorn
Nice.
style.
Sweet.
Fantastic. Nice crit.
Yeah.
Makes up for my swing and a miss on the first one.
Lost. It is on to you.
Did the portal close again as soon as Aravande disappeared?
Yeah, she goes, and it just kind of closed up.
Ooh.
Okay. I leap forward at the side of Lon and come striking down with my warhammer. 12. It's not going to do it.
It's a miss. Sorry.
Well, shields at the ready in case Faywin almost gets hit again. It's best I can do.
Thank you.
All right. Back up at the top of the order. Faywin?
All right. So, will I have disadvantage? Am I too close with my bow?
For ranged, I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. I will take a stab at him with my dagger then, my one remaining dagger.
By the way, this whole battle, Scamp has been on the side, like over on the thumb, just kind of like, you guys are doing a great job.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Scamp. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Real
you get 'em. Sorry about your friend dying and whatever.
Faywin, before she
We don't know
Before
she's dead.
Faywin makes a lunge at the Horrivore, she just kind of like shoots a little nasty kind of like sideways glance towards Scamp, and then like goes to make a stab at the Horrivore.
Okay.
Ooh, so that's only going to be an 11.
That is a miss.
Rats.
All right. We turn now to Avron. From Avron's point of view, she was sucked into this portal and seemed to fall for a while, and then sort of slid onto a flat, hard, kind of glassy-ish surface. It's very dark where she is. So, Avron, I'm going to talk kind of directly to you because you're the one experiencing this. You look around, and as your eyes begin to slowly adjust to the dark, you realize that you are in what looks like an enormous tower. And it looks somewhat like the hand did, except it's not organic, and it is much larger. It is made of a sort of glassy black material. It has a sort of iridescence to it. Like there's black, but it seems like there's little bits of purples and greens kind of mixed in. And it's sort of a like Baroque architecture building up into the sky. There is a staircase that goes around and nothing else. And you're there in the center of it, kind of looking around. You look, and there is a figure in the tower with you. And the figure is a woman in a dress.
The one from the statue?
Can I see her clearly, or is she like obscured by the dark?
It's a silhouette, but she appears to be coming closer.
Okay, I'm going to put my staff in front of me and just say, "Don't come any closer." And I'm gonna cast light at the tip of my staff so I can kind of get like a little clarity on what's around me.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, you cast light on the end of your staff, kind of pull a Gandalf. And the inside of this tower sort of lights up. There's a good radius of well-lit area, and this woman in the dress continues to come towards you. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 12.
Okay. Yeah, so as this woman in a dress is walking towards you, you realize that you're not hearing footsteps. Instead, you're hearing this tick, 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 and it sounds like tiny insect-like legs.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Is it like a million little Horrivores combined together to look like a human?
3 Horrivores in a trench coat, yeah. This woman in the dress continues to walk towards you, and you realize that her legs aren't actually moving like the way human legs would move as someone walks. She just seems to be standing still but approaching.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Fireball, like right at her.
All right. The fireball rips across this space. We'll say it's about 30 feet away. And as the fireball hits the woman in the dress, the image, the silhouette of that woman changes into this.
What is
That's even worse than Horrivore. Oh no.
It lets out a scream and begins to race towards you.
Oh my god.
I'm not prepared for a second character.
Downstairs sucks.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't you come join me? We can experience it together.
So this, by the way, this is not the hand tower. This is a different, this tower is much larger. It is a different place.
the foot tower?
It's just a big foot. It's just a leg. It races towards you.
Oh my god.
It's
oh my god.
Coming close.
Okay. There's stairs, right?
There is a circular staircase. Yes, spiral staircase.
I'm gonna book it for the stairs and try to I'm gonna look over my shoulder and then just kind of try to get a couple feet up from this thing.
Okay. Yeah, you race for the staircase. It's behind you. You just turn and bolt, and this thing is coming at you. It has a million little leg things behind it and in front of it and around it, and it's skittering towards you. You hit the staircase. You race up. This material that you're on is very glassy. So roll an endurance check.
Oh no. 12 again.
Nice. Yeah, you managed to deftly avoid it for several floors, and it's continuing to scream, and you're just full on. You've got your skirts up or whatever, your mage outfit, you're just
robes.
Yeah, your robes. You're just booking it as fast as you possibly can, and you make it to the top of this tower. There is a figure, and you can't make out any of the figure's features, but the figure turns around and says, "Don't be afraid. And the second that the figure says that, there's a ring of fire around you, and you're back on the tower with your party.
Oh boy. I'll just pop right in and just kind of like
Yeah, boop.
sort of like look around real quick
Nothing's
when
wrong.
I've still got like my staff in my hands and like my robe in the other hand, just like, oh, hi again.
Yeah, there's sort of just a whoosh for everyone else. You're fighting the Horrivore, and then Eravande just kind of like lands wide-eyed and breathing heavily.
Aravande's just like a whack-a-mole, getting like popped underneath the floor
my
and then
God.
pop back up again.
That will end Avron's turn, however, in the order. And we turn to the Horrivore. The Horrivore is going to make an attack on... I'm going to go with Lon.
Of course it is.
I
And
step in and start obstructing the view. So
I got to
impose
do disadvantage?
Yep.
Nice. All right.
You can use that on every turn?
Yep, you get 1 reaction per round.
Nice.
The 6 was the one I had to go for.
So that's a miss. Then
Yeah, I think your armor
11,
class is
so
higher than that.
11. Yeah. Whew.
All right. It goes back
Thanks,
now
Titus.
to Lon.
How rough is this Horrivore looking?
He is in very rough shape.
Okay, I'm going to take another swing at him with my axe, then see if I can chop him to pieces. 23.
Dang. That is definitely a hit.
And 4 damage.
All right. That is sufficient to slay the beast.
Nice
Aha.
job.
Just bury the axe right between its face.
Yeah. Lets out a big gurgle with your axe in its throat, thorax thing.
Whatever the frontish part of it is, that
Its face-like
The
spot.
bug parts.
Mouth
The
parts.
bug parts.
deep enough that I have to use my foot to pry it out again.
Right. Credit where it's due. The Horrivore of Eternal Void was workshopped for you by Talusa of the unofficial Elder Scrolls tabletop role-playing game.
Thank you, Talusa.
Yeah.
He made that specifically for you. And it was a workshop from one of his previous works, the Mud Crab of Eternal Doom.
Awesome.
Yes.
Amazing.
So thank you so much, Talusa, for that. It sort of slides over to the side, and the summoning circle in the middle of the hand is unobstructed. And the scamp races over and says, "Which one of you ugly people has the artifact?"
I pull it out of my pack with hammer in the other hand and hold it up.
Yeah, all right, set it right here.
I do so.
He kind of like puts on an air like he's doing, like he has his hands up, and he says, "Oh, RK, guardian of the wheel of life and death and other good stuff."
Yeah, our Avanda takes like a big gasp of air and just goes, "Will you hurry up already?"
You can't rush this. This is really, it's important. It's Scamp. Been a while. How are you? I've been doing good. So we kind of need to get out, and maybe you could like help us with that. We got this rock. He kind of like pokes it with his foot. And so, if you could just like open a portal, or as he's doing that, the crystal above you, from all the sort of fireballs and cacophony that's been going on, a piece of this gem comes off and just slams into the hand and kind of shatters straight through it. And so you are now free falling with this artifact kind of in the middle between you.
No, this is not good. Not again.
Scamp goes, RK, 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 RK.
I, at the same time, start praying to RK and saying, we need to save the realm of Tamriel. I'm praying this just internally. I'm not praying it out loud.
Yeah, Lon's just cursing like a sailor right now.
Faywin's like, hey, RK, please!
Yeah, Arvandi's just holding her staff to her chest and then just closes her eyes really tight and just starts praying to every ancestor in her long, glorious Altmer lineage.
With all these prayers and curses and resignation of death, there is a white light coming from the artifact. And as you are falling and the black, waveless ocean begins to hurtle closer to you, a 8-sided star opens up between you and the water below. And you slip into it and are free-falling through a portal, which you're used to portals at this point. And so you feel sort of weightless. You feel like you're being pulled at every direction. And there is an ethereal voice which says this.
The shackles of the void are gone, and my chosen are once more within my sight. To escape the scuttling void is no small victory.
And as this voice is speaking to you, you begin to see an image of a woman. This woman is wearing a white, like, flowing robe. It kind of looks like Rhea Silmain from Arena, that sort of, like, flowing, very ethereal, mystical kind of figure. I'm imagining that to each of you personally, it seems like she's looking directly into your eyes, and she says,
You alone can save the wheel. You alone can save Tamriel.
and with a white flash, all 4 of you, plus Scamp, plus Arthuri, tumble onto a grassy hill.
We lived!
Hello again! Thank you for listening to Session 4, The Tower. This marks the end of the party's hijinks in the Scuttling Void, for now, and the beginning of a new chapter in their adventure. Can't wait to show you more. Special thank you to Dr. Whodat219 of UESP for lending her talent to the mysterious voice whose name we do not know. Keep listening, I'm sure it'll come up again. Thank you also to Kyle Rebel of the Skyblivion Project for voicing the Dremora Curva. Skyblivion does the phenomenal work of porting Oblivion to the modern era, so check the link below for their work. Thank you also to Talusa of TTRPG, the unofficial Elder Scrolls role-playing game, whose conversion we use in this campaign. There's a link below in the description. If you use any of their resources, consider donating. Every little bit goes a long way. I'd also like to thank our sensitivity readers Lou, Geese, Captain Dumac, Raven, and the One True Goon for helping make these characters' representation as best as they can be. Thank you. And thank you as always to Kaz Wright for providing the music for this campaign. The song at the end of this session is called Seeing Scars. And thank you to our listeners. There's more to come. See you soon.